Shout out to everybody. We back. It is what it is. Let's see what Tom Homan's got to say about AOC. Because, you know, AOC is kind of tipping illegal immigrants off, you know what I mean? Or basically, some people saying she's just informing them of their rights. Tom Homan and different people are kind of looking at it differently. They're like, yo, we're trying to make sure we can stop this issue going on. You know what I mean? With illegals coming over here. And if they're over here, then we want to get them deported. And then you got people like AOC trying to give them pointers on how not to get caught. So I don't know. Let's listen to this. Shout out to Houston. I see you in here. He said we back. Let's listen to what Devori Darkin's got to say about this.
They're blaming Trump for it. But let's first get into what Tom Homan.
Now, what's up, Mafioso's in here. He shout out to you. He said happy birthday. Shout out to you.
Had to say this morning.
Heard you talking about AOC over the weekend. Do you believe she is breaking the law?
And I want to ask y'all in the comments section, do you feel like she's breaking the law? You know what I mean by doing this? I feel like it's a form, I would say, of like a treasonous form. It seems kind of form. Treason to me. Just what it is. What y'all think?
I'll leave it up to DOJ. What I find disturbing is that any member of Congress wants to educate people how they evade law enforcement. You can claim you're educating those constitutional rights. Okay, you can keep that claim. What she in fact is doing, telling people don't open your door, hide in your home, don't talk to ICE. We're talking about people who are in the country legally, committed a crime, they're a public safety threat, they've been convicted of serious crime, and they've been ordered removed by a federal judge. So it's like AOC and others don't want ICE to enforce the laws that they enacted. She's a member of Congress.
Yo, that's crazy. They don't want him to enforce the laws that they enacted. Because they want, in my opinion, it feels like they want the borders to flood, right? And they want a lot of illegal immigrants to come over here. They don't want voter ID states. They want people to just be able to come over here and vote. Yo, that's crazy. And they're in your face doing this. You know, that's like a form of treason to me. Like, you want to like circumvent the United States. You trying to open it up so that anybody can come over here and vote and change our government. That's no other government does that. And she's one of the people leading the charge against, you know, getting these people out of the country. You know, that's insane. You know, so shout out to Tom Homan for fighting back.
Let's enforce the laws you enacted. That's what we're supposed to do.
You can't go after her. Do you think others should?
No, I think I've asked DOJ. Where's that line of impediment?
Shout out to Dre. He said, blessing on your earth strong. Shout out. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that.
Interference. Now, if someone stands in your way, prevents you from arresting somebody, put your hands on it, that's impediment. But what line is telling people to hide from ICE, not open the door? Where do you cross?
Yeah, I think that's what she did. She's telling them like they don't have to open the door. Yo, she is crazy, bruh. You can't, AOC, you can't be doing that. You bugging. You bugged out. Come on, y'all. Hey, y'all, hit the like button if y'all can, man. She bugged out.
Line on impediment. So I've simply asked the Department of Justice, give us that line.
You have talked to them about this. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow. We'll see where that goes. Tom Homan, I'm out of time.
So you heard it. Clearly, he recommended DOJ to investigate AOC. They should. Doesn't mean she's going to be arrested or go to prison, anything of that nature. But guys, I mean, when you have actual people in Congress helping illegal aliens avoid deportation, you know we have issues.
Everybody was for deportation when Obama was getting people up out of here. But now that the Republicans are doing it, it's a problem.
And the problem is, politically, this is not good optics. Majority of America voted for this. And the fact that she's at the top of the list trying to help illegal aliens avoid being deported just proves the point of the election, which is progressives and particularly Democrats, they're out of touch on this one. And of course, we do have an example of that. The CNN interviewed Arizona voters who voted for Biden in 2020, then voted for Trump. Here's what they had to say about his presidency so far.
Talked to some Arizona voters who switched from voting for Joe Biden in 2020 to Trump in 2024. And so far, they mostly like what they see.
I just think he's trying to get America back on track as quickly as possible, given the state that it was left in from the previous.
Shout out to Mafioso with the $5 donation. He said, let's bless Piper Boy on his birthday. Salute for your hard work. Shout out to you, bro. Thug life. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that.
Administration.
It feels more merit and transparency that I'm getting from the administration so far.
I approve of a lot of the stuff that he's doing with the border and everything.
He's put other countries on notice that were to be taken seriously.
For the most part, I feel like he's on the right track by keeping transgenders out of women's sports. That's number one.
All 11 Biden-Trump voters say they approve of Donald Trump's first weeks in office.
Now, if you watched our video from yesterday, then you're not shocked by this announcement, because there was a poll that showed that majority of Americans support what President Trump is doing. And this just, again, affirms that he's on the right track, and also confirms that Democrats are still headed in the wrong direction. The messaging is off. Them trying to fight tooth and nail on every little thing that Trump is doing, that is off. And, of course, they have no answers, which is why this morning, you know what they were doing on President's Day? Singing songs in a way to protest Elon, DOGE, and President Trump. Watch this.
Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward.
Yo, this is insane.
Never turning back. Never turning back.
Now, what's interesting is this protest, I would call it bipolar, because on one hand, you had protesters singing, and then on the other hand, you had protesters saying this.
In his first term, his incompetence cost 400,000 American lives. It is appropriate that the only person in history to be responsible for more American deaths than Donald Trump is his idol, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, so I would say pray for that individual, because they're far gone. Okay, there's no critical thinking there. That is literal echo chamber. I'm going to eat up anything that is negative about President Trump, and I will disregard anything that is positive. And that is just a sad sight to see. But guys, I always like to show you the other side. This is what they're doing on this federal holiday, by the way. I find that to be interesting. Now, here's actual, if we take a step back, how big is the actual protest? Let me show you that now.
Yo, they're really out there protesting on President's Day? What? Renee said, oh my, they can move forward right off U.S. soil. Yeah, exactly. Yo, the lunacy is insane.
400,000 American lives. It's appropriate.
But these people thought it was cool to have a president that can't even like complete a sentence without stumbling and stammering, and can't walk up the steps of a jet. Like, these people thought it was okay to have a president like that was attacking freedoms of speech, like going after TikTok. Like, they love that. Like, what is up with Americans? That Stockholm syndrome is very, very real. When people say like, oh, you empathize with your captors, this is like this is crazy. We're literally watching people with Stockholm syndrome right now go all out and freeze while empathizing with their captors. Interesting.
That the only person in history to be responsible for more American deaths than Donald Trump is his idol, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's trying to stop the war between Ukraine and Putin. And first of all, Zelensky, you have lost your mind. We changing this title, because Zelensky about to get this smoke, bro. We're not about to Zelensky sneak this in America. Hold on. Yep, we changing it. So Zelensky, I don't know if y'all, we're gonna get to him in a minute. So Zelensky, you know, we've given him like billions of dollars, like billions and billions and way more than 77 billion. We're giving him a lot of money, right? So we're fighting a proxy war, right? We're helping him. We got the battery in his back. It is what it is. But he's going, you know what I mean? Him and Russia at it, right? Somebody asked him, like, if you would consider peace talks, because Trump is trying to talk to Putin, and he was like, no, we don't, like, he basically, like, he don't care what we think. Wait a minute, so how you gonna fight this war, Zelensky? I'm trying to figure out. You don't care what we think. How are you gonna fight this war if you ain't got no money? So you want to take all of our money, right, and keep wanting more and more money, but you don't want to listen to us about stopping this war. I'm so glad Trump did not invite Zelensky to the inauguration. That little weasel, bro. This is what happened. Biden was giving him money, filling his pockets. And he don't want to listen to us about peace talks. Insane, bro. Well, we're going to get to him in a minute.
So I would say pray for that individual because they're far gone. Okay, there's no critical thinking there. That is literal echo chamber. I'm going to eat up anything that is negative about President Trump, and I will disregard anything that is positive.
Shout out to Nicholas. He said, oh, happy birthday. Here's a shout out to you.
And that is just a sad sight to see. But guys, I always like to show you the other side. This is what they're doing on this federal holiday, by the way. I find that to be interesting. Now, here's actual, if we take a step back, how big is the actual protest? Let me show you that now. Now, the one thing that I can give credit to Democrats for is how easily they can program their base.
Let me show y'all this because this is getting on my nerves, bro. This is really irking me. This Zelensky dude. Let me see if I can show y'all.
Trump said this week he did something that President Trump said this week. He did not say yes when he was asked if he sees Ukraine as an equal member in the peace process. He did say later that Ukraine...
It said, I would... okay, so Gunther posted breaking. Zelensky says he will not accept any peace deal negotiated between Trump and Putin to bring the war to an end.
Ukraine would have a seat at the table. Have you been given any assurances that Ukraine will have an equal seat at the negotiating table?
So I will never accept any decisions between the United States and Russia about Ukraine. Never. And our people, never. And our adults and children, never.
And this dude's been getting billions of dollars from... How much money have we given Ukraine? We've given Ukraine $65.9 billion of our tax money to this dude. We gave him $69.5 billion for military assistance since Russia launched its premeditated, unprovoked invasion on Ukraine, and approximately $69.2 billion in military assistance since Russia initial invasion. So he's gotten a lot of money from us, and he don't want to listen to us.
So I will never accept any decisions between the United States and Russia about Ukraine. Never. And our people, never.
Anthony, do you hear this? Do you hear him saying this? How much money we gave them? I will never accept what the United States and Russia has with a peace. Like, what? Don't give him no more money. This weasel got our tax money. And you don't want to listen to us? You couldn't fight this war on your own? That's why you've been begging us to help you. But you don't want to listen to us? Hey, I hope you see this, bruh. Cut him off. And you want to be a part of NATO? Like, what? Man, if y'all let this dude rock, Let Vladimir Putin take him out. Dog life. Let him get Ukraine. I don't care. Because you're talking a little bit too reckless. We ain't give you $200. You got $65.9 billion from us. Lord, I hope Trump hears this. Oh, Lord Jesus. I hope he hears this.
Will have an equal seat at the negotiating table.
So I will never accept any decisions between the United States and Russia about Ukraine. Never. And our people, never. And our adults and children and everybody. It can't be so. This is the war in Ukraine against us, and it's our human losses. We're thankful
it's our human losses. All right. So, all right, y'all fight it yourself. So what if Trump and Putin talking like, all right, so let's do some negotiations. Let's try to stop this, right? So, this is what y'all can do for Ukraine or whatever. And then like hit Ukraine up like, yo, what you think about this? They ain't gonna invade y'all. No more lost lives. Y'all don't have to be funding a war and all of this, right? These are the terms. Like, what you think about it? If it's good terms, like the terms. If it ain't, all right, don't take it. But I don't like this. I'm about to just get all your money and I don't want to listen to nothing you got to say. That's crazy.
For all the support, unity between USA, in USA, around Ukraine support, bipartisan unity, bipartisan support. We're thankful for all of this. But there is no any leader in the world who can really make a deal with Putin without.
But I don't like this.
Thing that President Trump said this week. He did not say yes when he was asked if he sees Ukraine as an equal member in the peace process. He did say later that Ukraine would have a seat at the table. Have you been given any assurances that Ukraine will have an equal seat at the negotiating table?
So I will never accept
to do what you just saw in that clip. On this federal holiday,
shout out to Hakem. He said, "Happy Born Day,
President's Day." They're at the Capitol protesting Elon Musk, President Trump, and really this America First agenda that majority of Americans support. Now, you can criticize how they go about certain things or the tactics or the strategy. That's totally your right. But why are you wasting time protesting the entire premise and the mandate that American people want? I just find that to be interesting. Now, what's more interesting is that while they're out there protesting, they are continuing to lose in court because Judge Chutkan just came out and confirmed once again how she's not buying what the plaintiffs are saying in their effort to block Elon Musk and DOGE from accessing government systems. Let's take a look at that.
He's tasked with the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Elon Musk. A federal judge has just declined to issue an order halting Elon Musk and DOGE from accessing federal data and slashing personnel. Attorneys general from 14 states are attempting to stop Musk and DOGE from accessing data in 7 federal agencies and from firing or putting on leave employees in those
Our government is actively trying to stop us from knowing where our money is going.
Agencies. U.S. District Court Judge Chutkan just refused to issue a ruling from the bench. So at that point, she has not halted Musk and DOGE from continuing their actions inside the 7 agencies at issue here. Just real quickly, because of your legal background, your quick thinking.
All right. 2 of the Supreme Court justices have subtly indicated that they would like to strike down the prevailing rule. It's not statutory. Those 2 being Thomas and Kavanaugh, in dicta in other decisions. They'd like to get rid of this rule that a single district court judge someplace in the country can issue a ruling that holds for the entire country. It's not what the founding fathers expected here, and it's been gamed. And, the right can do it too. So the left.
Yeah, he's right. I don't think that's what the founding fathers want to do. I like he said that.
In dicta in other decisions. They'd like to get rid of this rule that a single district court judge someplace in the country can issue a ruling that holds for the entire country. It's not what the founding fathers expected here, and it's been gamed. And, you know, the right can do it too, so the left shouldn't be too quick to oppose that.
Now, we had already talked about that over the weekend, that she was already expressing skepticism in regards to this entire lawsuit against Elon Musk and DOGE. But furthermore, the gentleman just pointed out a great point, which really is worthy of SCOTUS's, I guess, attention here, is how could a district court judge require the entire nation to, I guess, adhere to their ruling in regard to what the president can or cannot do? That just does not pass the common sense test. Now, like I've stated so many times, we know SCOTUS will finally catch up to what is happening with the executive branch, and we also know Congress will catch up too. The real story here is how Democrats were never really prepared for how President Trump started off this presidency, and he's done a phenomenal job. And they're just at this point scrambling, which is why you have them going on to MSNBC claiming that we should not be celebrating President's Day because of people like President Trump. Hear this.
All right, so the headline here is presidential historian says President's Day is ridiculous. We should scrap it. What do you mean?
It is a little bit silly. I mean, we have had some real duds, so I'm not sure we really want to be celebrating all presidents. And the tradition.
Yo, they sneak this in President's Day. Like, yo, what?
Actually comes from celebrating birthdays, which is a celebration that we inherited from celebrating the king. And I'm just not sure that that's exactly what we want. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that we necessarily want to celebrate the people. I think that we want to have a certain respect for the office. I totally get that. And some have done extraordinary things, but by celebrating all of them, I do think it causes us to think of the president as somehow other, when in reality,
it's time for Lefties Losing It, and I regret to inform you that Hollywood celebrities,
hit the like button if y'all can,
even ones who were once widely admired, have decided to trash their own brand in an effort to get Trump. Just watch this pathetic performance from Tom Hanks.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
And it didn't...
Tom Hanks is a legend. Why is he doing this? Yeah, MMA Magazine said they need to stop. He's a legend. Like, why is he doing this, bro? Like, what is in it for him?
And there, watch what happens when a black man tries to shake the hands of Tom Hanks' idea of a Trump supporter. This is what these out-of-touch dimwits from Hollywood think of the average American. They don't just hate the president, they hate the majority of their countrymen.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go. No. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome to Black Jim anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it What?
Since the campaign, and I wanted to come to see you all before the show left, and this was so beautiful.
She got a different license to me. I can't be playing that SNL stuff.
And it just had such depth and soul, and it was just, I mean...
Yo, what's up with her, bro? Did y'all hear this word salad she just did, Kamala Harris?
Deranged hatred of Donald Trump. You will not believe what a CBS anchor said on air, and she still has a job. But let's ease our way into Lefties Losing It by checking in on the woman who almost became the leader of the free world, the woman the media tried to tell us was a competent and visionary leader, an orator. Yes, it's Kamala.
Somebody said I lost respect for Hanks. I just don't know what he's doing. It's like, why are you doing all of this? What's in it for you, bro? Like, bro, just give us some good movies and go away. Like, chill out.
All the time.
For those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant. And
shout out to Lioness. Shout out to you.
it's just the nature of it.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's Kamala time or happy hour. The former Veep appears to be unburdened by sobriety, allegedly. She was in New York to visit the cast of A Wonderful World on Broadway, and she explains here it was a rare outing. She doesn't get out much nowadays.
She looks disheveled, bro. Doesn't she? Like, in my opinion, she looks like really disheveled. Not like going in on her. She just looks like she's kind of worn out. I don't know if like all the social media, everybody going in on her, bombing on her all the time. I don't know if that's wearing her out, but she looks exhausted.
Get out much nowadays.
So, you know, I don't get out much these days. We wanted so much to see this before you guys left. This is my first trip to New York actually since the campaign. And I wanted to come to see you all before the show left.
Shout out to Brandon Johnson with the $2 donation. He said, happy birthday. Mine was on the 5th. Thug life. Happy belated, bro. Shout out to you.
So beautiful. And it just had such depth and soul and it was just, I mean, all the nuances.
Such depth and soul. But it wouldn't be a Kamala word salad without some inspiring words of wisdom.
It's just the nature of it. Yes, I mean, look at this beautiful play. It doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything. Right? These things all coexist.
Her husband don't even believe what she's saying.
It doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything. Right? These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against something.
Yes, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Well, not quite sure about the clear eyes part there. But let's move on to one of the most disgraceful performances from a news anchor that you'll ever see. Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan, fresh from being humiliated by JD Vance, was interviewing Secretary of State Mark Rubio, and she actually claimed that the Holocaust was caused by free speech. This is not only offensively stupid and historically ignorant, but it shows just how demented the leftist media have become.
He was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right views and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship was specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you.
Sometimes you do got to look outside of the different like news networks in America to kind of see what's going on. Sometimes I look at like the, Chinese news, what they're talking about in Switzerland about America, like different places. Like America doesn't always tell you exactly what's going on.
Free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. But
Sky News Australia, they talk about a lot of things, but it's like political satire. Like they kind of clown people. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. And Rita, she's one of the biggest like people like over there, like with the satire. She's really good though. I like her.
Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history.
Free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. That's what she said, word for word. Marco Rubio corrected her, gave her historical facts to counter her, frankly, insane propaganda, but he was far too polite. When someone says something that spectacularly stupid, they need to be put in their place. And I mentioned JD Vance humiliating Margaret Brennan just a few weeks ago. Let's take a little look at my two favourite moments from that interview. Here, JD Vance wipes that smug look off her face.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by.
Country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
And here, JD Vance.
Yes! talk crazy, JD Vance. He said just because 240 years later doesn't mean we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world. I like that. He talked reckless.
Country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
And here JD Vance gives birth to a new meme. I don't really care, Margaret.
We absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These
It's
people are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But
care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
I think that interview broke Margaret Brennan's tenuous grip on reality because she's now claiming that free speech in Nazi Germany caused the Holocaust. Now, moving along,
You said the audio on the news is hard to listen to. It could be your speakers.
do love it when TDS sufferers like Bill Maher have to admit that President Trump is not only highly effective, but is now cool. This must have hurt.
Here's how bad the Democrats up. Trump is
No, this sounds bad.
cool now. He's not just the most powerful guy in the world and just made himself like the richest. He's actually kind of at 78.
I think they are manipulating the audio so that they can get it to pass. Because you know, like when you upload something and you use another footage, when it processes, it like catches like automatically. You get like hit with copyright. They may be manipulating the audio. I do that sometimes.
I mean, rappers like him. The athletes are doing. I was making fun of the powerful guy in the world and just made himself like the richest. He's actually kind of at 78. I mean, rappers like him. The athletes are doing. I was making fun of him. Two guys at one time. And now he owns it, and they're doing it. The village people are gay for Trump now.
The village people are gay for Trump now. The cultural shift in the US is real and it's big. And it's touched another former TDS sufferer, Stephen A. Smith.
What voter out there can look at that?
Another TDS sufferer. Yo, she is funny, bro.
Democratic Party at this moment in time.
Yo, how she be leading into this is hilarious. Another TDS sufferer, Stephen A. Smith. Yo, she crazy.
Gay for Trump now. The cultural shift in the US is real and it's big. And it's touched another former TDS sufferer, Stephen A. Smith.
What voter out there can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf. They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home, and that man is back into the White House. And they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about, look at this is the latest, look at him. Here he goes again. Well, you know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said he was going to do. He promised you he was going to do these things, and he walked into office week one, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's saying, y'all do.
Yo, hey, can y'all tell me something? Is he like now a Trump supporter? Stephen A. Smith, hit the like button if y'all can. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all trying to play me? Hit the like button. But yeah, like I think he coming around. He's coming around.
Can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf. They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home, and that man is back into the White House. And they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about, look at this is the latest, look at him. Here he goes again.
But they're using a filter for the audio. Like they're manipulating the audio.
You know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said.
Meg says he's a flip-flopper. Yo, like, yeah, he was talking about, let's vote for Kamala Harris, and the next thing you know, he's talking about, I wish I never voted for her. Like he don't want to lose that viewership that he has. I think that's what it is.
And he was going to do. He promised you he was going to do these things, and he walked into office week 1, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's saying, y'all do something about it. And when you try to do something about it, he's going to say, look at them now. Now they're concerned about these issues. Were they talking about that during the campaign? Hell no.
And trigger warning for the lefties, the polls are showing the American people back Donald Trump's key policies despite the...
I don't know where the poll is coming from, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm rocking with Donald Trump. I'm rocking with what he's doing. I like it. And when did he get inaugurated? On the 20th? So in less than a month, he's completed 98% of his campaign promises. The only thing he hasn't completed yet, which he already talked about, is going to take time to bring down the cost of food, right? Because they're trying to save the government money. They're trying to bring down the cost of inflation the old-fashioned way, and they're moving at a rapid pace with the Department of Government Efficiency finding out all this unnecessary blow. Elon Musk is finding out people that are 100, quote unquote, 150 years old, you know what I'm saying, are still getting Social Security that never stopped. Like, they're finding out, like, business, you know, contracts, the 3-month contracts have still been getting paid for years without the contracts being, like, canceled. Like, they're finding out all kind of stuff, bro. They're trying to save money and save Social Security and then bring down inflation naturally without quantitative easing from the Federal Reserve. I like that because, you know, if they talk to Jerome Powell about something, he's going to be against everything that they say. So they going about it the old-fashioned way, which I like. So other than, like, that, what else? And then, like, the no taxes on tips and everything. I mean, mostly everything else he's done. Like, I can't, like, when I looked at his campaign and, you know, we kind of reviewed things of what he said he was going to do, and, like, he's already either done it or getting ready to do it. So I don't know. I kind of rocking with him.
24/7 media hysteria and lies. Here is ABC News actually reporting facts. It leaves the Democrats' Hakeem Jeffries lost for words.
Donald Trump's favorability rating is actually higher than it ever was the first time around. Let me ask you, a recent poll by Marquette looked at several of the things that he has done or says that he is going to do, and 63% favor federal government's recognition of only 2 sexes, 60% favor deporting immigrants who entered the United States illegally, 60% favor expanding oil and gas protection.
This guy said he believes anything that Elon Musk posts on his Twitter. Bro, you got the Department of Government Efficiency posting everything that they find on Twitter. Yes, I believe that. Department of Government Efficiency posting everything that they save the taxpayers' money on. I am believing that. This is Department of Government Efficiency, bro. Like, what are you talking about? What you talking about? Yes, I believe that. That's why you are no longer allowed on this channel. Somebody said, hello, Piperboy, and chat mod. Shout out to you. Keep it real.
Production, 59% favor declaring an emergency at the southern border. Is there anything you are seeing that Trump is doing that you are in favor of, that you think is the right thing?
Let me say, as it relates to all of those issues, we're just
he's not only have they talked about this in the Oval Office, like, you know what I mean, they talked about a lot of things that's been found, like Trump is like expounded upon stuff like this. His T said, where is the proof that they are finding these overpayments? Am I the only one who wants more than a post on Twitter? It's Department of Government Efficiency. Like, they're telling you what they're finding. Like, what more do you need? Like, the president talks about this stuff. Like, what more do you need? What do you mean, where's the proof? Or do you want to go through their ledgers and see, like, exactly which investigator is finding out what? I mean, Elon Musk is, like, the head of that. Him and Vivek is, like, the head of that. And they telling you what's going on. Like, what more do you need? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, we all want to be skeptical of why is Elizabeth Warren going so crazy trying to stop a lot of this information from going out? That's what you need to be wondering about. Like, why are you not concerned about that? Elizabeth Warren trying to stop you from understanding, like, what's happening with the Treasury Department and what the Treasury officers have been signing off on. Why are you not worried about that? This lady is she gets paid $200-something thousand a year, and she's worth $12 million. Like, we need to be concerned about that. Like, you know, I think we trying to overly concern ourselves with things that are, like, just being told, you know what I'm saying? Like, that this is one of the most transparent governments that we have ever had, and they're doing everything in front of you, signing executive orders in front of you. Hey, screenshot it, Zoom in. You know what I'm saying? Signing executive orders in front of you. Like, they're doing everything in front of you. Somebody said he prioritizes the benefits of the billionaires. Okay, so when he's talking about the, I don't know if y'all just trolling, you know, because ain't no super chat, just a lot of trolling. So it's like when he's talking about tax cuts, this will be the biggest like tax cut for the middle class ever. So how is he prioritizing billionaires? Like, I can't understand how y'all even say that. If he's trying to close up loopholes for billionaires who own sports teams and get money that way, and then trying to do no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime and extending the middle class tax cuts, how is he like for the billionaires? And like, I don't understand that. Like, this is not making sense to me. Like, before you could have said that. Shout out to Magic. He said, happy birthday, bro. Before you could have said that, now it's just like, bro, like he's literally working for the common man right now. He raised the tariffs on aluminum, 25% tariffs on aluminum, made 25% tariffs on aluminum. And he's reinforcing a 25% steel tax of imported steel coming into America. That is helping the steel industry. That is the common man. That's like another thing that he's doing. So now if there's a country, he's got 25% tariff and you got to pay a 25% tariff for steel, you might as well buy the steel in America. The tariffs are automatic. What is the problem? I don't understand. He's showing you in your face. And he's any of them countries that got tariffs on America, we're putting tariffs on all of them. And if they raise their tariffs, it's automatic. Oh, well. We're not about to keep sending billions of dollars out the window like Biden did. If we sending billions of dollars out, it's coming out in the form of a loan, or we want minerals or natural resources or something in exchange. He said that. Why is that a problem? All other countries do it. Why when Trump does something that makes sense, it's a problem? Why when Elon Musk is doing something that makes sense, it's a problem? Why are people not investigating why Joe Biden pardoned Liz Cheney, the war hawk? Why are they not concerned about why Joe Biden pardoned Hunter Biden? Why are people not concerned about that? I'm just curious. Why are you not concerned that he pardoned members of the January 6th committee? Why are you not concerned about that? Why are you not concerned that he pardoned Dr. Fauci? But you want to see exactly what was the money saved from the Department of Government Efficiency because you don't believe the tweet that's coming out from the Department of Government Efficiency. Mafioso with the $5 donation, he said, these people simply do not want to get off the enslavement of the Democratic Party. The left do not need chains anymore. They mentally got them enslaved. I think that, bro, I think you telling the truth. I think Mafioso is telling the truth. Like, it's like they are sympathizing with their captors. They literally just took TikTok away from you in front of you. In front of your face, they took it away from you. Freedom of speech, they was after it. Then Kamala Harris wants to do a speech. What was it? I seen a video floating around yesterday. I think I posted it on Twitter. Maybe we can get to that. And she's talking about, oh, well, we need to, freedom of speech is sacred and we need to protect it. Y'all literally just went after freedom of speech. What are you talking about, lady? You literally just went after it. Y'all literally went after it. So what is you talking about? These are the people that y'all sympathizing with? I don't understand that. I really do not understand it at all.
At the beginning. There'll be plenty more lefties losing it content with my next guest. Now, I can't believe this is happening in the great state of Texas. Here is a church service in Dallas being led by a drag king. Yes, a woman dressed as a dude. In my day, we'd just call that a tomboy or a butch gal, but no, it's an entire identity now. And she's preaching at a Christian service.
But performing gender as a daily task, I would argue, is a learned cultural trait to which we have all been exposed.
Oh my God, bro. Hey, 5 Deep, do you see this? It says drag king leads Texas church service.
As understandings of drag have changed throughout history, perhaps drag today could be defined as that which threatens the already fragile and arbitrarily constructed framework for gender performance that is necessary to maintain power dynamics.
Say what now? Let's bring in my second favourite Texan, comedian, host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, this is reportedly at the United Church of Christ Cathedral of Hope, a Protestant denomination. What is going on in Texas?
Well, Rita, that's actually our mutual friend, Sarah Gonzalez, who filmed that. She was working for the Texas.
She said, what is going on in Texas, bruh?
This Family Project. It's the nonprofit organization that she basically runs here in Texas that exposes all of this weird, gender indoctrination of youth. And, Sarah goes to a lot of these drag queen story hours. But when it came to this event, what was so unique about it is not only did they have a drag king, which is bizarre in itself, and not only is this a mockery of Christianity, they actually did a drag brunch after this event. That's right, Rita. And every dollar that the drag brunch made went to the church. So it makes absolutely no sense that there are Christian churches here in Dallas, Texas, that are trying to say that they believe in the scripture when they do the exact opposite of what the scripture preaches.
Dallas, Texas. I didn't think this would be happening, but all the big cities in the US.
Yo, what in the world? Like, bro, I'm just laughing at her, bro. Like, her reactions is crazy. She said, Dallas, Texas, like...
when they do the exact opposite of what the scripture preaches.
Dallas, Texas. I didn't think this would be happening, but all the big cities in the US go a little bit loopy. Now, we spoke earlier in the program about J.D. Vance's great speech in Munich. He also gave a great speech in Paris. Look both of those up. They're well worth a listen. But let's hear him address the hysteria in Europe about Elon Musk daring to comment on politics on that continent.
And expressing opinions isn't election interference. Even when people express views outside your own country, and even when those people are very influential. And trust me, I say this with all humor, if American democracy can survive 10 years of Greta Thunberg scolding, you guys can survive a few months of Elon Musk.
Now, there's been an enormous backlash to that speech, a lot of commentary. Tell me what the reaction has been in the US.
Shout out to Rights Over Policy.
Well, it's funny, Rita, that everybody's getting mad at Elon Musk, yet there's billionaires that are unelected, just like Bill Gates, that make so many decisions for the Democratic Party, and nobody tries to call that out except for conservatives. So it's just the hypocrisy is on display from the people on the left. And I'm not even saying that you have to like Elon Musk. You don't have to agree with Elon Musk. But at the end of the day, what he's done with free speech on X is incredible. So I think that he's going to create more government transparency. So I don't care that he's from South Africa. I like a guy that's getting in there and disrupting things and trying to make Americans have more information on what's really going on within our government.
Well, none of this should be a surprise. It wasn't like Trump won a second term and then he shocked everybody by bringing out Elon Musk and having this Department of Government Efficiency. This was part of the election promises. This was part of all the rallies Elon Musk was appearing that spelled out precisely what they plan to do. So to pretend that Elon Musk doesn't have any authority to act in this manner is plainly absurd. The president has given him that authority. He's got a mandate to...
Shout out to Rita. I'm going to let y'all check out the rest of that. Lefty's losing it. It says, MAGA rejects you. Lindy Lee versus critics of Trump-Putin war.
Well, I'm looking at this...
Shout out to Pierce Morgan. We about to see what they're talking about.
shaping of America's relationship with the rest of the world. As we speak, European leaders are holding emergency talks in Paris. Russian officials are meeting Marco Rubio in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The war talks so far do not include Ukraine. Zelensky says he knew nothing about the meeting and is awkwardly heading out to Riyadh on completely separate business. President Trump spoke to Putin last week and insists that the Russian dictator is ready to end the war.
Ukraine, or just what do you think he wants?
No, I think he wants to stop. That was my question to him. Because if he's going to go on, that would have been a big problem for us. And that would have caused me a big problem because you just can't let that happen.
Also, this video's got 20,000 views. Shout out to everybody. Hit the like button. I appreciate it if y'all can. If you want to sneak diss me or something like that, that's fine. But go ahead and hit that super chat if you want me to read it. Because this video is probably going to do a decent number of views. And I'm not about to read no disrespect for free. That's what it is. And shout out to Jeanette Morris, said, happy birthday, Piperboy Williams. Appreciate you.
I think he wants to end it. And they want to end it fast.
Waffle Jackson, shout out.
Both of them. And Zelensky wants to end it too.
Well, the US has been criticised for selling out Ukraine by dealing directly with Russia, by ruling out a full return to Ukraine's 2014 borders, and by saying that post-war peacekeeping forces must be provided by Europe and Europe alone. But here's the reality. There is no peace without Putin's say-so. Trump vowed to end this war, and he'll need both Ukraine and Russia to do it. This is what it takes to bring Putin to the table. This is, unfortunately, where the process must begin. At the heart of Trump's foreign policy posturing is a clear demand for Europe to take responsibility for Europe. Vice President
Carlos said, I don't care that he is from South Africa. He's not even from the United States. That sounds sickening. And he's a billionaire trying to get over and make more money. I mean, he's doing this for free. The DOGE is actually, he's not even getting paid for it. He's doing it for free. And the Cybertruck contracts, I think, were canceled. So he's not like getting those Cybertruck contracts. He's actually telling them like he doesn't even need the tax breaks anymore for like the Teslas. You know, when I bought like 2 Teslas, it was like a $7,500 tax break for each one of them. He said he don't even need those anymore. So I'm trying to figure out why exactly people are saying that he's going to get some sort of a benefit. He's already got like the government contracts to like launch like satellites up into space. He's been had those. Like, so I understand. It's like maybe people want those contracts to go away, but he's trying to figure out a way to go up there and save the astronauts that are stuck up in space. So so you kind of don't want to like take that away. But other than that, I don't really see where the benefit comes in from Elon Musk. The only benefit I would think, like, you know, like if you're invested in the stock companies, like maybe artificially, temporarily, the stock price could go up because he is in line with Trump and maybe he can make money that way. Other than that, I don't really see how he's making money. You know what I mean? But I don't know everything. You know what I mean? We don't know everything, but I think he's just trying to help America save money is what I think.
Vance launched a stunning broadside.
Shout out to Mafioso with the $2 donation. He said Musk and Trump ain't even getting paid. Wake up! Exactly. I mean, Trump ain't even getting paid to be president. He's trying to make sure this country is like solvent. Like, so when his family, you know what I mean? Like when he leaves this earth, his grandkids are left in the United States as good. You know what I mean? And his kids are left in the United States as good. Like he's like the only person right now that could fix a lot of this that's going on. So, I mean, he probably rather just chill out, golf, you know, do stuff like that. But when you see Joe Biden destroying the country and you have the ability to do something about it, you're going to do something about it. Like, yeah, I'm going to run for another 4 years, whatever. We're going to fix this. And he's fixing things in record time. So,
against the EU in a big speech last week. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth read the riot act at NATO. The US alone currently pays for 16% of NATO's budget, and 25 of its members spend less than 2.5% of their GDP on defense. That cannot continue. And frankly, why should it continue? British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has already now pledged UK troops to a future peacekeeping mission in Ukraine, and others will surely have to follow. Back in DC, Trump is preparing to fight a slew of legal challenges over Elon Musk's cost-cutting DOGE, and they're not backing down there either.
they will fail. It's the president's right to control the budget. And these are our tax dollars that have been squandered away, Martha. Look what happened at USAID. It's really remarkable that every American isn't outraged by what's happened at USAID. When we work our entire lives to pay taxes and then you find out that $2 million is going to Guatemala for sex changes, that's not going to happen.
Well, like it or not, President Trump means business, and so far, it seems to be working. To debate all this, I'm joined by the host of the Dean Obeidallah Show on Sirius XM, Dean Obeidallah, Julie Roginski, the commentator and founder of Salty Politics, host of Bolling on YouTube and podcast platforms, Eric Bolling, and former Democratic National Committee fundraiser, Lindy Lee. Well, welcome, a stellar panel. I'm sure we'll all be extremely calm and civil to each other, won't we? Won't we, Eric?
Well, I'm looking at this panel, Pierce, and it's it leans left. Let's call it that way. And I'm up for the fight. Let's do it. Let's bring it on. I'm used to panels like this, Julie.
Well, I think you'll find that Lindy has drunk the conservative Kool-Aid since you last saw her.
Eric, I'm not sure if you remember, but just a few weeks ago, you retweeted an attack on me.
Oh, I like this start. Come on, what was that about?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you did.
You said you retweeted an attack on me.
This is something. I'll tell you exactly what it was. Very careful. Yes, of course I do. I remember. I said that I believe you could be a Trojan horse. I believe that someone who spent the better.
Rain said Musk admitted he lied about USAID. What are you talking about? No, he didn't. Like, where did you see that at?
Part of the last election supporting.
I'm not saying you lying. I just didn't see him say anything like that. Won't you hit me up on Twitter? If he says something like that, then I will you know what I'm saying? I will show everybody here on YouTube Live. But I've never seen him say I lied about USAID. No, that did not happen.
Biden and Kamala Harris.
Or I did not see that happen.
Sudden sees the light after Donald Trump wins an election. I mean, you're not that much different from Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and the rest of them, but I think we should all be careful.
You're a busy guy, Eric, so I don't blame you for not paying attention on media appearances, but I've been criticizing Biden well before Election Day. I raised concerns, and that's why I pulled back from the Democratic Party.
I've been pretty much MAGA since the day one, and as someone who I think speaks for a lot of MAGA folks, I recommend we just be very wary of the folks that are late to the game. Not that they're not welcome.
Hey,
You're welcome.
I know that I have a lot to prove, but give me a chance to prove that. Don't shut the door. I have a lot to offer, and you're not going to find a harder worker. I'm already working hard to make sure that we nail the midterms, because this is absolutely pivotal. We can't go back to Oaken, the trans insanity. I am done with that.
I mean, it's an interesting thing, Eric, isn't it? Because, I mean, I if I were you, I would feel equally, not smug's not the right word, but equally hang on, I was there from the start supporting Trump and the MAGA movement.
I see y'all hitting the hundreds. Thug life.
Now you got all these people trotting down to Mar-a-Lago or making these huge conversions on the clinical Damascene conversion road. And I think you're right to probably be a little bit skeptical. Not of Lindy. I've on a few times. I'm not saying for a moment, Lindy, you're not.
I'm a nice one, Eric. And I don't want anything.
Okay, so allow me, Lindy. Allow me. Let me ask you. So there are all these tech bros, as I mentioned, Jeff Bezos, even Elon Musk came up.
Sorry, I'm going to start reading subscribers' comments. Carlos said, "What about Donald Trump stopping a war just with one party of the war talking to the Russian president without talking to the Ukraine president, making offers that Ukraine will allow go for?" I mean, we don't know. They haven't even talked yet. He hasn't even talked to Putin about stopping the war. So, I mean, I don't know. But if they're trying to figure out a way to stop it, obviously there's some resistance that's going on between Putin and Zelensky, right? Putin wants to talk to Trump. He don't want to talk to Zelensky. So if they can, if we're the ones that's funding the war, right? I think we have some sort of say, I think. Right. So if he can figure out how to talk to Putin about what they want from Ukraine or what they're willing to do with Ukraine, and then Putin talks to Ukraine, then they can figure out a way, then fine. But if Zelensky is just saying, I don't want to talk, the United States can't make no decision and United States can't do it. All right, you don't need our money. That's how I feel about it. A lot of y'all want to just keep giving them money and let them operate with impunity, do what they want to do. Then they don't need our money. You see what I'm saying? That's how I think. If he's gotten $65.9 billion from America and you don't want, we can't have no say in nothing, like that's a problem. Maybe y'all don't pay taxes or something. Maybe that's what it is. That's an issue. Every time you come here, you get $1 billion. But you don't want to hear nothing we got to say? That's a problem to me. And then Diane Severance said, hey, Carlos, he met with Ukraine president. Diana Severance said he's wrong. Barr says Zelensky is playing games being two-faced. Yeah, he playing games, bro. And he tried to snitch out the Democratic Party. He did. He was just like, yo, they were supposed to send like 177 billion or close to 200 billion. I only got a 77 billion of it. Where's the other 100 billion? Like, who? First of all, you got 77 billion of our tax money. And where's the other 100 billion? Like, who do you think you is, dog? And you don't want to listen to me? Our country? Where the other 100 billion? Like, who? We ain't got to give you no 100 billion. Who's you? You Ukraine, bro. You begging to be in NATO. Like, get out of here. This dude, Zelensky, is mad entitled. And you don't want to hear no peace talks? How you going to finance this war? I'm glad he ain't get invited to inauguration. He a clown. Zelensky is the clown to me.
Over, Mark Zuckerberg and the others that came. And then this HB1 visa issue came up, and all of a sudden the tech bros departed from their support of conservative, support of MAGA, and certainly support of Trump's original stakeout on it. And so my point is, well, be careful, because they're saying, spending a lot of money.
King James says Zelensky, the comedy actor, is now magically a billionaire. Bobby Heater said they have the alphabet community and we have ICU community.
He had Trump's inauguration, and Melania's got a $40 million epic deal with Amazon. That's great, but just be careful, because you flip this way, I can see you flipping back the other way.
Well, can I just say, I agree with Eric. You're oddly enough
stuck with me.
Yo, he said, you flip this way, I can see you flipping back the other way. Yo, that's funny, bro. Look at Piers Morgan. Yeah. I like that. That's funny.
I'm a conservative now. Last time I remember Rubicon.
Don't trust him. Eric's right. Don't trust him, Eric. Eric is absolutely right. I don't know Eric before. Don't trust the tech bros. Elon Musk is an Obama supporter, comes around to Trump, and now all of a sudden he's your buddy. I would Google Rasputin. I think that's how it ends up for Elon Musk, because the noblemen around the king, Donald Trump, for decades, don't like this guy showing up out of nowhere. So I think Eric's right to be a little questioning of them. That's all I'm going to say. But nothing about Lindy. She's very nice. I'm just saying question some of the other ones. They have an agenda, which is about tax cuts for wealthy. That's what they're about.
Dean, I want to just express my love for you. I've always had a soft spot for you, and although we may not be politically aligned, I've read your stuff. You are very sassy, and your attacks on Fetterman, I mean, I may not agree with it, but I respect it. You are fearless in that regard.
Thank you. Back to you, Eric. Piers, this is a big day for me. I've never been called sassy in my life, so this is very big. I'm going to say
that's what you are.
Piers Morgan Uncensored is now proudly independent. With you, Julie.
Good to see you again. It's been like 10 years.
Julie, unless you want to settle any scores while you're there or bestow undying love to somebody, then we can.
Yo, you know what I noticed? When people go on the Piers Morgan show, their followers go crazy.
Move on.
I'm happy to bestow undying gratitude to Eric Bolling, who I used to sit next to on The Five and other shows at Fox for a long time, and I can tell you he was MAGA from the very beginning. He stuck by it through thick and thin. When Trump was in,
Shout out to everybody saying happy birthday. Give me a super chat. Stop playing with me. Thug life.
Trump was out. Eric, you were always MAGA. And I would say I would be a little suspicious of people who would have been with Kamala Harris had she won the election, but suddenly, as soon as somebody else comes into power, they suddenly flip and decide they're going to support Donald Trump. So I do agree, Eric. Say what you will about you. You and I don't agree on anything, but you were misguided about MAGA from the very beginning, and you stuck by it. And I'm very suspicious. I am very suspicious of people who suddenly flit to power like moth to a flame, because I'm positive, Lindy, that if Kamala Harris had won, you would be here defending her to the hilt.
Yep. Talk to her. Yep, she would. She would be. Yep. I love that. I love
Julie,
it.
there are some things that I did not know before Election Day. Wait a minute. For example, we had no idea that they lied to us about the 3 to 4 battleground states that we were supposed to win. That's what they told us, to get us to go out there and ask for friends. Don't be skeptical. That's what they told us. That's what Lindy,
Lindy, hang on. That's an interesting question, though, isn't it? If Kamala Harris had won, and everyone thought, according to the polls, it was all going to be so close. I didn't. I went on Fox 10 days before and said Trump's going to win big. So I'm taking the Eric Bolling victory lap on that. However, if Kamala Harris had won big, be honest, would you now be out here as a big convert to all things Trump? Or do you think you may have gone for the ride with Kamala? Because that's really what Eric is getting at, which is how strong is your actual conviction?
Pierce, remember the first time I was here, I've been on here 3 times. The first time I was here, I was a solid Democrat. I was trying to reform things from within, right? Yeah. By that time, I was still very much within the family. In December, remember that interview, our segment went viral. Why? Because I laid out what happened to me. I've been called a cunt and a whore. I'm just going to say it right now. Cunt, whore, bitch, whatever. A Chinese spy for asking questions.
She got a little foul mouth on her. She kind of wilding, y'all.
Questions about what happened to the money that I raised, for asking why we double down on the woke.
No, but I'm not questioning. Just to be clear, I'm not questioning anything that you said, or that wasn't repellent the way you were treated, or any of those things. But that was all post the results. And
what I mean is, I tried to stay until I couldn't.
No, I get it. But that was more to do with you saying you wasted all this money and them abusing you and so on. That's a kind of different issue. The question, which is quite a valid one, and it kind of, Eric started this, and Julie's kind of cemented the questioning, if you like, which is, and that's 2 people from opposing sides, both equally skeptical. If you're honest, if Kamala Harris had won, would you now be on a show like this as a diehard pro-Trumper? Or is it more likely if the Democrats had won, you'd have tried to help reform them and move forward from within, but from a winning position?
Well, what I mean is, Pierce, I tried to reform them. I've been here in December, I was still a Democrat. I was explaining why I couldn't be a Democrat anymore. The egregious treatment.
I get that, but you're slightly avoiding the question, which I do.
Shit, turncoat.
I'm trying to answer it. Sorry.
Well, you've been accused of being a Trojan horse by Eric, but Julie has rightly pointed out from the other side, well, hang on, if our side had won, right, where would you be now? Because ideologically, it's a massive move to go from somebody who supports Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to somebody who supports Donald Trump.
I've always been on the conservative wing of the party, and there's a paper trail. 5 years ago, I went to war with the Bernie Bros. That's how I emerged on the public scene. That's how I got my start. I, as a conservative, refused to vote for Bernie Sanders because he went against everything I believed in.
I think the question, I'm going to get off one more time. The question really is, would you have been identifying as a conservative if Kamala Harris...
That's what I mean. 5 years ago, I was already identifying as a conservative and attacking Bernie Sanders.
No, that's not my question. My question was,
why is she avoiding this? He's basically saying if Kamala Harris won, would you be a conservative? Why is she, avoiding this? Who did she vote for? That's what we need to figure out.
Kamala had won, would you now be appearing on this panel as a conservative or as...
No, Pierce Morgan's cutting her off because she ain't answering him. That's why he's cutting her off.
Democrat.
I would be appearing, if not as a conservative Republican, I would be appearing as a conservative Democrat, as I've always been. I have tons of Fox News articles.
Wait, so if Kamala won, she would be a conservative Democrat. It's basically, what's up, Christian Medwid? So that's what it is then.
My question was, if Kamala had won, would you now be appearing on this panel as a conservative or as a Democrat?
I would would be appearing, if not as a conservative Republican, I would be appearing as a conservative Democrat, as I've always been. I have tons of Fox News articles over the years identifying myself as a conservative Democrat. I've had this around my neck for 15 years, okay? Faith is a very important
look, call me old-fashioned, but what is a conservative Democrat? I mean, aren't you either one or the other?
I'm sorry?
Well, aren't you either a conservative or a Democrat?
When I first
I wasn't
became a
aware of this
Democrat,
weird hybrid where you could be both.
Well, I'm from suburban Pennsylvania. When I first became a Democrat, it was actually pre-Obama. We believed in middle-class values, fiscal responsibility, like moderation. We didn't think that biological men should be in women's sports. That's a fairly recent development, I think. Like in the past 5 years, I'm not in favor of that. I think that's absolutely just lunacy. These are recent developments. The woke and the trans insanity, the DEI stuff, I didn't sign up for that. I just didn't, and I was terrified of vocalizing my opposition.
Here's what we're going to say.
Interesting. I don't know, man.
To vote for the Democrats. I was so disgusted.
So you voted Trump?
You said who you vote for, girl? Stop playing. Who'd you vote for? That's what they want to know. Like, if Kamala would have won, would you be up here would you be a turncoat now? Like you a turncoat? Would you be a turncoat if Kamala would have won? The reason why she ain't want to answer that is because I think she voted for Kamala. And it's about to come out. And he's like, yo, did you vote for Trump? Look at her face when he says that. Nah, bro. She ain't slick, bro. She not fooling me.
Trump?
Let's go back to how you asked this question.
So out of interest, who did you vote for in the election?
In 2024?
Yeah.
I voted for one person. I actually ignored everybody else on the ballot.
Well, who did you vote for?
Because I couldn't bring myself to vote for the Democrats. I was so disgusted.
So you voted Trump?
Can I plead the fifth?
No.
I will just say that. Let me just say one thing. I was so disgusted with the Democratic. What did you say?
Who did you vote for?
Don't trust her.
I will say that I voted for one person on the ballot.
Yeah, who?
Because I was so disgusted with the Democrats, I couldn't vote for.
Who did you vote for?
Are you a Republican or not? What you doing?
Do I have to answer?
Yes. It's uncensored. Come on. Spit it out.
See, I can't win with this because I raised
You can be
money.
honest. I mean, if you're honest, you win, right? I mean, that's...
Well, my donors and all the Democrats will accuse me of sabotage if I...
Oh, she only care about her donors. But you want to be a Republican now. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, she playing games. She a turncoat you can't trust. At least like Tulsi Gabbard, like, all right, I'm Republican, I'm riding all the way. This is who I'm with. This lady, she's still trying to like straddle the fence, but she want to say she Republican. Like, what are you? She only worried about her donors.
Go on, Lindy. Who did you vote for?
Lindy, answer the question. Shout out to Richard Mitchell, who's a member on the channel. He said, happy birthday. Shout out to you. Sassa said, I believe that.
I voted for Bob Casey. I didn't vote for president. I just couldn't because I'm just so disgusted.
Well, let's get a reaction.
Here's the thing.
By the Democratic Party that I couldn't bring myself to vote for any of them.
Just stop speaking for a second. You voted for Bob Casey, who is a member of the Democratic Party, which is the party that
is one of the most conservative members who's pro-life, famously pro-life.
I know exactly, sweetheart. I have a house in Pennsylvania. I actually campaigned for Bob Casey.
If you're going to talk like that to me, please don't sweetheart me very much.
So I'm not, listen to me because you have to stop speaking for a second. Let me be very clear with you. You were out there until the very last second positioning yourself as a surrogate for Kamala Harris. despite the woke stuff that you now disdain, despite the fact that you think that Democrats stand for only trans issues and nothing else that apparently you campaigned on all these years for Democrats, first for Biden, then for Harris. So the bottom line is, everything that you now disavow, you tried your very best and tried very, very hard to get in front of every TV camera that would take you to campaign for Kamala Harris, who you now claim supported trans and DI issues that you think are completely misguided. So the bottom line is, everything that you're saying now about how you're going to help MAGA means that you threw out every value that you stood for. Because you can't be, Eric Bolling and I have known each other a long time.
There's some things that are values that are we don't
agree. Let me finish speaking. I was very quiet when you spoke. Let me finish speaking. Eric and I don't agree on much.
Interrupted me.
Eric and I don't agree on much. We have completely diametrically opposed views. So if I suddenly said to Eric today, Eric, I am going to campaign for MAGA, and everything that you've been saying for the last 15, 20 years that I've known you, Eric Bolling, you have been right on everything. Eric would rightly say, Julie, you sat next to me on TV show after TV show and we argued. I know where your heart has been. What has changed? And if I said to Eric, you know what? People went on social media and called me the C word and called me the B word. You know what Eric would do? Eric, I don't want to speak for you. I think you'd laugh at me. Because you'd say, are you really throwing away every single thing that you stood for because some...
He's cracking up. Hey, this lady is destroying this lady. Lindy is getting smoked right now, bruh. This turncoat is getting smoked.
Randos were mean to you on Twitter.
What's up, Bar?
And that's exactly what you're saying you did, Lindy.
Absolutely not. There's some, wait, hold on. You don't know anything about me. We haven't spoken in 10 years, so you don't even know the values that I hold. I still very much believe that.
Oh, I've been following you very hard.
Issue. Can I finish? You asked me to finish, right? So I'm going to finish now. There are issues that I hold dear to my heart. And environment is the top one. I also believe that gun violence is a serious issue in our country. Those things will never change. And I hold these issues, just because I'm now supporting the Republicans doesn't mean that I somehow relinquish these values. But I have been slowly shifting to the right.
But she can't support Trump.
Personally, there are things that have happened in my life. There are people that I've met. I don't want to talk about it, but I've been shifting rightwardly. Frankly, it's none of your business. I don't owe you an accounting of why I turned rightward.
Your shift happened after the election.
But nobody believes you.
You've been shifting all recently, but you weren't shifting when you were a surrogate for both, the Democrat Party and then Kamala Harris. Where were you saying,
what I've been telling you is that there's a paper bill.
Yeah, and she got like 386,000 followers off of being a Democrat. And now you want to switch? But you don't want to like fully support the Republican Party. My fiance with the $2 donation, he said she getting cooked into sushi rolls. She don't know what to do, bruh. I'm not about to follow her.
The right to life. Where was that 4 weeks ago?
Wait, I haven't said anything about the right to life. I haven't said anything. Wait, hold on.
I believe you just said pro-life. Did you just say you're pro-life?
Oh, hold on. She talking about she's subject to abuse on Piers Morgan's show. Let me show y'all this. We going on Twitter. She ain't about to get away with this. All right, hold on. Because she ended up saying, before you continue to defame, harass, and lie about me, please consider that I am human just like you. I'm not a cartoon. I haven't made a single dime from telling the truth. I'm a human who is allowed to change her mind in the face of new info. I'm just someone who loves our country. Hi, Lindy. I just wanted to say how sorry I was that you had to go through that awful Piers Morgan interview. It was so hard to watch and my heart just broke for you. It was fair for them to ask the question at first, but 45 minutes of abuse was so awful to listen to, and you didn't deserve that. So much of what is wrong with this country was on display in that interview. I know you have been under a lot of stress, and this probably made it worse. I am praying for you right now. Please stay strong and do not let them affect your physical or mental health. physical or mental health. What? So Piers Morgan sees all of this, right? He responds, he said, "Hey, Lindy, I don't think you were subjected to any abuse on Piers Morgan Uncensored last night, but I do think the grilling we all gave you about your political switch went on way too long, and that's on me. Apologies." Right? And then she said, "Pierce, wow, thank you so much. Your apology is so much appreciated, but unnecessary. I am happy to be questioned. I'm just not okay with the defamatory claims or the coordinated smear and cancel culture campaign inflicted on me now. You were fine. I actually think you are a class act." She is such a little crybaby, bro. Like, no, you are a crybaby. You had a lot of different opportunities to get out of this. They asked you a question about who you vote for. You didn't want to say who you voted for. You are a little crybaby, bro. She crying. What y'all think about her? She is a crybaby, bro. Then Pierce had to apologize to her, so she don't like request that this video to be taken down. But I think they was fair with her. I think she had a lot of opportunities to like argue her case. You can't just be a turncoat and then not fully support the Republican Party. They feel like Hodekin said, "Lindy is spitting facts." Robert said, "Pulling out that Democratic privilege, trying to pretend she's a Republican." Exactly. Barr said, "If you're gonna do a segment, you should do your research." And then Diana Severn said, "Yeah, she changed her mind, and that's fine, but she is running around all over the news. She did a podcast and says she does not get her monthly friend from all the stress." Like, so I don't know what that means. And then Brando said, "Hold up, she may change her mind again here in a minute."
I pretty much.
What about the environment? What about the environment?
No, I didn't say it was pro-life. I said Bob Casey's pro-life.
Shout out to Randy 2K.
I didn't say anything about abortion today.
Lindy, are you pushing the GOP?
Lindy, drill, baby, drill.
Well, let me ask Dean. Look, I wasn't expecting this debate. This is actually a very interesting debate because this is going on a lot. There are lots of people who are migrating. Whether it's Mark Zuckerberg, a bit like that, or Lindy, or whatever. It's a very interesting debate about the validity of their conversion. So, Dean, what do you make of this from everything you've heard so far?
Shout out to Sandra. Appreciate you.
Look, Lindy's made her choice. And if she's going to be consistent with her values in the GOP and try to change the GOP to be consistent with her views on saving lives from gun violence, on addressing climate change, well, that would be a good move within the GOP. The GOP needs that. I'm not here to attack Lindy. That's her choice. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos are billionaires with power. They did this for a business decision. They didn't make donations. They made investments in Donald Trump's campaign, and they expected to be rewarded. Elon Musk with more contracts, with tax cuts for the wealthy, the billionaires class, and less regulations, and allowing more mergers so they can make even more money because they're upset with Biden because his FTC and DOJ slowed down mergers of big corporations. They're anti-consumer, pro-bottom line. So I have a different view. Lindy's one person. She made her choice. She's going to have to answer for herself. If she's truthful, MAGA will embrace her. If not, don't reject her. They're not dummies. I don't believe what some people say on the left about MAGA. They're not dumb. They're smart. They're dangerous, but they're smart.
Dangerous how, bro? Like, yeah.
To me, my biggest concern is big power.
Dean,
yes?
MAGA rejects her. Sorry, Lindy. MAGA rejects you.
It's over, Lindy. It is over. He said MAGA rejects you. Sorry, Lindy. MAGA rejects you. Yo, this is crazy. Richard Mitchell with the $5 donation. He said Benedict Arnold.
And frankly, MAGA rejects Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and the rest of the people who decided that there's a more fruitful path towards Mar-a-Lago and the White House now than it was 4 weeks ago.
You are not the gatekeeper of MAGA. No one appointed you. I'm like St. Peter by the pearly gates. That's not up to you. You know who it's up to? It's up to American people. And I have gotten thousands of letters, thousands of messages on a daily basis, and I read as much as I can. I have never seen so much kindness, barring these like far-right lunatics.
Didn't Benedict Arnold hold on, it says Benedict Arnold betrayed the American Revolution because of a combination of factors, including dissatisfaction. Arnold was unhappy with his treatment by the Continental Army, including being denied promotion and facing charges of misconduct. Greed. Arnold wanted financial gain from his British. Resentment. Arnold may have resented other officers in the Continental Congress. So, I don't know.
Eric, you're not one of them. I actually happen to like you outside of this. The amount of love and welcome that I've gotten from conservative
Oh, yeah. He was convicted of treason. Benedict Arnold, right?
Republicans is so incredible. So
Lindy,
incredible.
I would have so much more respect for you if you would just say, look, I've been a lifelong Democrat. I've supported the Democrats. I've worked with the Democrats. I've raised money for Democrats, including Kamala Harris.
Right.
And you know what? I'm not all of a sudden changed and see the light that Donald Trump is the savior.
What I mean is,
but you
are you hearing
flipped so
me?
dramatically
I'm
in
trying
such
to
a
tell
short
you that
period
this
of
is
time,
a years-long
Lindy.
evolution.
Give it a breath. Give it a breath. You're
I'm
on
trying to
everywhere
tell you.
that will
I've been.
Julie's right. Everywhere that will host you, you'll go on CNN, MSNBC, Fox. You're all over Fox saying what a great, pro-Trump MAGA personality you are right now because you're getting booked all over the place. Give it a minute. Prove yourself
I've never
first.
once
I
said I
want
was
you to prove
MAGA,
yourself
to be
first.
honest. I've never even used that word, so I don't know why.
Well,
people
Trump is MAGA. Let's be honest. Trump is MAGA. Period. Full stop.
Yeah.
Most of my hits have been my criticisms of Democrats, to be honest. I don't think I've ever been on one.
And you're going to get booked because you're the Democrat who's criticizing other Democrats.
Yeah,
It's very
that's why you're
bookable,
getting booked,
very
yeah.
clickable, in fact. But as someone on the inside of
And
the
I happen
movement
to
for
have
a
a
long
lot to say.
time,
I have donors who are terrified of speaking out. I have a
prove
duty
yourself
of
more.
care to say what the heck went wrong with the campaign because it was a fucking disaster. It was a
Well, that's
disaster. It was
different.
so
Now
badly
that
accountability.
is commendable. Now there's a Democrat saying we screwed up. We need to find out.
Yeah, and he right. She going anywhere and everywhere, and now she on Fox News, trying to support.
Religion. It's their God. Woke is their God. You know, this like trans and woke insanity, they're enthralled by it. And, you know, go woke, but go broke. We've seen that happen so many times, and companies are running as fast as they can away from this toxic agenda. Yet
Lindy, trans ideology has hijacked our schools and communities. Too many of our kids have fallen prey to gender madness, getting some surgeries they later regret. I'm grateful for President Trump for fighting back against the avalanche of woke insanity. She trying to get booked, bro.
Now what we did wrong, come back stronger,
pretty
and
much
beat
the only
them. That
one
would
saying
be
it. To the-
that would be admirable.
I think,
That would be
Lindy, hang on, Lindy. I think the point Eric is making, which is a strong one and a valid one, I think, which is you could have done all this criticism of the Democrats whilst remaining a Democrat, somebody who voted. Somebody who voted for a Democrat literally just a few months ago, right? But
yeah, exactly. Like, all right, so Stephen A. Smith is still saying he's a Democrat, but he's being very critical of the Democrats. Bill Maher is a Democrat, and he's being very independent Democrat, but he's being very critical of the Democrats. He's giving it time, right? So then, like, maybe next year or 2 years from now, Stephen A. Smith can say, you know what, like, after all of this, like, I've decided, like, yo, I'm Republican. Then it would make a little bit more sense. But her just jumping, like, straight, like, I don't know, man.
Instead,
and she's getting booked everywhere. She said she ain't making no money from this, but I don't know, man. She got, like, I make money off Twitter, and she's verified. So I'm verified and all that. I mean, she may have rejected the creator thing, but she probably making money. And like her engagement, she's making a lot more money than me on Twitter. So I don't know. Is she getting booked everywhere? Is she doing this for the money? Then she just retweeted somebody, Joe Pag said, were celebrities paid to endorse Kamala Harris? A Dem insider and fundraiser Lindsay Lee with the definitive answer. Let me see what she's saying with this. This is like a little kind of recent.
Story. She was a Democrat operative raising millions of dollars for Biden and Harris, and then started leaking and whistleblowing and giving out some inside information. Now she says she switched sides. I talked with Lindy Lee on my show, and she broke down exactly how it worked with celebrities. Were they paid? If so, how much? And were there lies about them getting paid, or did people just misunderstand?
Yeah, she getting booked everywhere.
on FEC.gov. It's so funny to me that they keep saying that. I'm like, okay, well, it's on the government website now, and we have proof that you're a production company. I think they point to the fact that, oh, it's your production company and not them themselves. But all celebrities are paid through their companies, you know? Right. No one is paid, through personal check. And so it's very disingenuous. Frankly, no, actually. I'm going to call it like it is. It's very deceitful.
Well, it is deceitful. Well, let me ask you this.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We got our eye on you, Lindy.
You want people like Eric to believe is that somehow you...
Shout out to El Chuco. He said just subscribe. Shout out to you.
Been really going more and more right-wing for years, and actually now you're a full-on Trumper, and he's saying, well, hang on a second, why did you vote the way you did only in November?
I'm a full-on conservative. I'm finally free to be who I am, that I don't have to be ashamed of it because I live in Philadelphia. It's a stigma to be a Republican here.
Yeah, but none of the panel, with respect, but Lindy, when you have both Julie and you have Eric both just not buying this at all, you've got a bit of a PR problem, haven't you?
I don't need these two lovely individuals to buy anything. I am comfortable with myself. I know who I am. I know that I'm a conservative, and I've been a conservative, and I've been ashamed of being conservative. There are things like, you could go look at my old tweets. There have been issues that
I'm really sorry. Look, I'm really struggling. If you've always been a conservative, why did you keep voting Democrat? I don't get it.
Let's think about it. I'm just not.
How are you being bullied? They're asking you like real questions. Like, if you're a concern, like, I mean, they want to see, like, bro, like, what are you? You've been voting Democrat this whole time. You talking about now you're a conservative. They ask you if you voted for Kamala. Then you wanted to be quiet for a minute. Think about an answer. Then you say you didn't vote for either one of them. So it's like, are you a conservative or not? So now they're questioning, are you just a conservative because now you're speaking out against the Democrats? You're going to get booked, obviously, because MAGA, anti-Democrat right now. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, it's Republican Party. So you turning on them is, they're going to really put you in a booster seat. So is that the case? Are you just trying to get booked more, or are you like really MAGA? Like, what is it? Like, she hasn't given me anything definitive. Well, she said conservative, right? But conservative is MAGA right now. I don't care what nobody said. So it's like, so what are you? Now you say you're not MAGA. Now you just conservative. Like, what are you, lady? And what conservative have you gotten behind? Shout out to Mecca, said happy birthday. Appreciate you.
No, I'm not just a Democrat. I'm somebody who ran for Congress as a 24-year-old as a Democrat. And again, twice.
So my question is, why did you keep running,
it was so
campaigning?
Hard for me to leave.
But why did you keep running, campaigning?
And she was raising money for Kamala Harris. So that's why they asked her like early on, like, if Kamala would have won, would you be supporting Kamala right now? Because you were actively raising money for Kamala Harris. Richard Mitchell is a member on the channel, says she's full of it. I don't think they're doing anything wrong by like calling her out. I think they're doing a good job of it, like calling her out on what's going on.
Lindy, with all respect, why did you keep running, campaigning, and voting as a Democrat if you've always
because
been
in the city of Philadelphia, it's a 1 to 8.
And then remember when she said, like, "Oh well, I'm concerned about my donors." You can't be like, you really can't get on the conservative side because they don't care about all that right now. They care about like fixing this country. You worry more about your donors than anything. You think that like a lot of these people that are like coming forward, like just trying to like fix this country, they don't care about their donors right now. They're gonna get to them later. You concerned about your donors now, but then you said that you don't make $1 off of anything that you're doing. Like we all breaking down what she's saying, right? Because she ain't confusing me. She seemed like she all over the place.
Administration breakdown. For every one Republican, there are 8 Democrats. That is how much of a landslide it is here. And I grew up in the age of Obama. Like, the year that I went to college was 2008. The first year that Obama was elected. I was 17 years old and so captivated by this man promising hope and change. I bought into it. despite the fact that my family had reservations because my parents are very
But
conservative.
you understand that like if I began all of a sudden start Muslims for MAGA, I'm Muslim. Dino Vidal begins Muslim for MAGA. Love me, MAGA. I'm now your friend. They'd be like, you're the jackass that used to trash us on social media, on MSNBC. And I'm like, yeah, I am. But I'm now Muslims for MAGA. Why? I got a book deal. I got a TV deal. I'm not saying that's what you're getting. But that's what we see, right? I don't attack you. Like, you make your choice. You have to live with yourself at the end of the day. It's between you and yourself. For me, it's the big billionaires who are going to get more money at our expense that really upset me. But you can see the hesitation, and you saw it online, Lindy. There are people, Democrats, who are not crap posters, like you call them, who are really, like, stunned by what you've done. And this transition from a big cheerleader on our side to now attacking us nonstop on the other side.
And you know
Okay,
what hold on. You know what I think it is, too? As when you look at them comments, like when she was like in super support of the Democrats, her comments was crazy. Like they were like crazy. Like she didn't have anything favorable for her. That could have been hurting, like, you know what I mean? Messing with her. You know what I mean? Like the negative comments that she had in there. She like, all right, I can't do this no more. Hey, you gonna ride or die for whatever party you with. And I think she got wind of that. Like, nah, Like how they be under Elizabeth Warren and all of them. Like she seen them comments and she like, nah, let me switch. They ain't about to bully me. What y'all think?
With that, but I think Pierce has done a good job. We probably should have put legal counsel here. Lindy, for this, I could object to the call. I'm a lawyer. I could object if you want. Wink at me, and I'll say objection. But
Honestly,
I think it's a problem for either side to believe you right now. That's the reality. That's the truth. I'm not being mean.
Thank you for being respectful, by the way. Thank you for not being acerbic. Can I please finish, Julie Radzinsky? Is it Radzinsky or Radzinsky? I don't know. But
Go ahead, Lindy.
In terms of Republicans,
She tried to sneak this her last name. She was like, go ahead, Lindy Lee. Listen to me. This is wild, bruh. Now I see why this has been like on Twitter. People been talking about this. Like, yo, this is crazy, bruh. Like, hold on. The sneak dissing is at an all-time high. Let's listen to this. She said she tried to sneak this her last name. She's like, Lindy Lee.
can I please finish, Julie Radzinsky? Is it Radzinsky or Radzinsky? I don't know. But
Go ahead, Lindy Lee.
In terms of Republicans, if you're going to pile on anyone who's willing to help you win the midterms, willing to do what they can, willing to hear you out and learn more about where you're coming from, no one's going to come over.
But why should? But Lindy, again, with the optics of this, why should the Democrats listen to someone who says I've been a secret conservative the whole time? I mean,
I'm done with them. They don't need to listen to me. I don't need them.
No, but why should they take any advice from you anyway? Since you've now admitted you've always been a secret Republican, you just happen
I spent how many months trying to give them advice? No,
But you hear how like she like, forget them. I don't need them now. But you worried about your donors. She said early on she's worried about. She did not prep for this interview.
November, December, they didn't hear a thing. The DNC chair,
2 months.
In response to my criticisms, attacked me, saying that
When did you attack Kamala Harris before the election?
I raised concerns about her internally.
No,
that
publicly.
they completely ignored
When
us.
did you attack Biden or Kamala before the election?
On July 21st on Fox News Sunday was
No, not after Biden had gone, but while he was still the
that was
president.
before he was gone.
While he was
I
still the
urged
leader of the
him to
party,
get it.
while he was still the nominee,
Yes.
did you attack Biden while he was still nominee?
Yes.
When?
And consistently
When?
throughout the month of July, at the
So
tail
when he
end
was
of the
nominee,
month.
not after he stood down.
Yes, exactly. I urged him to step aside.
Yeah,
He
but
was
that
no
was
longer
after the debate and everything.
Astro says she's twisted.
Well, I'm talking about before that.
Paul Castellano said, I need to start my own podcast. Go ahead, man.
When everybody knew that this was a massive lie being perpetrated on the American people. The joke.
Yeah, exactly. Lori Daniels is in the comment section, and she said it sounds like she's working with whoever she can get the best deal from. That's what it sounds like to me. She's like, oh, I don't need them. Like the Democrats, after she just went crazy supporting Kamala Harris. Now she don't need him.
Biden, I wrote columns for 2 years for the New York Post saying this guy is not fit to be president. He's not mentally or physically fit for the job. And I kept hearing the Democrats collectively telling me, no, he's never been sharper. Throwing huge fundraisers. This guy's on top of his game. He's great. He's killing it. And then we saw the debate that the whole thing had been a total lie and he had to go. And then Kamala Harris is coronated for some bizarre reason. And that turns out to be an even bigger disaster.
Brando in the comment section said, man, she said she needs to be taken out of politics. Corey said, man, this is getting hard to watch. Yeah, she getting cooked, bro. That's why she was just crying on Twitter. She's like posting messages that fans are sending her. Like, sorry you had to go through that on the Piers Morgan show. Yo.
Hang on. My point is that in your conversion, you're now saying that even though you voted Democrat in the election, the entire time you've been a closet conservative. And I think that both Eric and Julie are right to raise a very skeptical eyebrow about what that means.
I'm not, with all due respect, I'm not beholden to these wonderful people. I'm comfortable with myself. This is just who I am.
But what are you, Lindy? Lindy, what are you really? I mean, be honest.
I'm a conservative. I'm not really.
But since when? You voted Democrat on November the 5th.
For an extremely conservative Democrat, Bob Casey, do you know him? He's one of the most conservative, or he was.
He's a Democrat.
I'm about to message her right now. I said, Pearson and panel asked real question. That was your time to validate. That was your time to legitimize your position. All right. So I just sent her.
Bob Casey was known as a moderate center-right candidate. He and his family have been there for decades. Go ahead.
You had a more conservative option, though, Lindy. You had a more conservative option, though, Lindy, and you chose not to exercise it, right? You could have voted for the Republican, but to get back to what you said,
who made a fortune working with China? I don't think so. I don't think so. I know Bob Casey.
So to get back to what you were.
Yeah, Julie.
Okay, so to get back to what you were saying, you were not the only Democrat who was criticizing the party. I criticized the party in a clip that actually went viral, and Eric has known me a long time. I've never been shy. I'm sorry. You're the only person from the campaign who, after the campaign, criticized the campaign. Is that what you're saying? Because I could probably provide about 20 names as soon as we get off the air. We did the same thing. The second thing I would say, yes, half the people that worked in the campaign. The second thing that I would say is that you have to, but Lindy, here's the problem. You are not at the top level. I'm sorry to say, you were a donor. Get over yourself.
Science Committee?
You are not the top level. You are a donor. Get over yourself. Yo. I love how the cattiness is. And shout out to Richard Mitchell. He said she was under the impression that the Democrats were going to win. Philly is the reason why Trump won Pennsylvania. She's capping.
But Lindy, here's the problem. You are not at the top level. I'm sorry to say, you were a donor. Get over yourself. You're not sitting in the room making. Congratulations, you're the national.
And she also has to understand this is Piers Morgan Uncensored. This is not like some like super political channel. Like, so they can get real with you.
David Buck famously refused to take any accountability for what went wrong. To this day, we have not received a careful accounting of how they set $2.5 billion on fire. Don't even get. Come on.
And let me tell you something. And let me tell. Okay, Lindy, you gave money. Lindy, you gave money. You weren't happy about how it was spent. I gave money. I wasn't happy about how it was spent. Nevertheless, here's the difference between you and me. You pointed out two issues that you said that you care about: gun safety is one, and climate is the other. If those are the two issues and the hill that you're choosing to die on, how in the world are you supporting somebody who talks about drill baby drill all day long?
Oh, she is cooking her. Yeah, Lindy is just trying to get whoever is giving her the best deals. It feels like she gonna ride for. Yo.
It talks about the fact that they want unfettered gun access for anybody who wants it. Right now, you're saying you're gonna elect MAGA candidates to further the MAGA agenda. That MAGA agenda is completely contrary to the two issues that you said today that you still care about. So forgive Eric Bolling for being a little skeptical.
Side, but I did not mention the things that I care about from the conservative side that far outweigh the two that I mentioned. I agree with conservatives on everything.
Hold on. First of all, shout out to everybody. I do want to shout all of y'all out that's been hitting the like button. Because y'all been hitting the like button, we had 70. Hold on. We had 84,000 views. This is y'all like hitting all the emojis, the likes and all that. I appreciate that. Also, we got like, I think like 300 subscribers. So we went over 119,000 subscribers. So I just want to say shout out to y'all. So the next goal will be 120,000 subscribers. Appreciate y'all. Colin Radley with the $4.99. He said, long time no see, Piper Nation. Shout out Thug Life. Appreciate you, Colin Radley. He is a moderator in here. He's been supporting the channel. Appreciate him. So I just want to say shout out to all of y'all, subscribing to the channel. We're going to keep watching this, but it is what it is. Rock with you.
Anything else? I think what happened on the borders is an absolute sin. I think Biden's betrayal on the borders.
Why did you campaign for Kamala Harris?
And unforgivable. As a naturalized citizen myself,
so why did you campaign for Kamala Harris?
Absolutely.
But she did cook her. She's like, if climate change and gun safety is your primary reasons for switching party, like, how are you aligning with a party that is talking about drill baby drill and want unfeathered access to guns for everybody? So that, like, she cooked her when she said that. So like, I think this lady don't know what she's talking about, bro. I think she's got a lot of followers. She got donors. She's trying to donate to the Kamala Harris party. Kamala man, everybody got behind her. Now that MAGA is in, her comment section changed, and she's starting to notice every time she posts something, she's being clowned. And I think that pressure got to her. And then now she's just switching parties. And now, like, a lot of news outlets and stuff are just welcoming her. Like, even me, like, I've been invited to do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the Republicans, you know what I mean? And they've been very, very, dope, like trying to like assist me with helping me like grow my platform, and I'm not even gonna mention like people's names, but I appreciate them. I just gotta decide whether I'm a really like roll all the way like in this media thing. But they are very willing to help you. So she's just looking at all of the support that she's getting right now, you know what I mean? And I think she's turning cold. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I helped try to get, Trump some votes. You know what I mean? Like y'all see me, I was going live talking about Trump, like, yo, we got to get Trump in the office and all of that. I did that, so everybody, it was clear who I voted for. Her, on the other hand, it's like she didn't even want to vote for Trump. She said she voted for somebody that like nobody even knew like who the person was. She can't like take a position and stand on it. So I think she's like, to me, in my personal opinion, El Chuco said fatful, but I think she's like all over the place. You know what I mean? My personal opinion. But if she gonna roll with the Republicans, like roll with the Republicans. So this is kind of hazing in a sense. It's like, yo, all right, you want to come over here? We want to challenge you and see what your belief systems are. What is it really? So like people could say, okay, well, Tulsi Gabbard, she's a turncoat, right? She was a Democrat and now she's a Republican, but she chose to stand and ride for Donald Trump to get elected. So when I see a Tulsi Gabbard, it's a lot different than seeing a Lindy Lee, in my opinion.
And said today that you still care about. So forgive Eric Bolling for being a little skeptical.
Side, but I did not mention the things that I care about from the conservative side that far outweigh the two that I mentioned. I agree with conservatives on everything else. I think what happened on the borders is an absolute sin. I think Biden's betrayal on the borders.
Why did you campaign for Kamala Harris?
Unforgivable. As a naturalized citizen myself,
so why did you campaign for Kamala Harris?
It's absolutely horrendous. The fact that he let millions of immigrants in, and I've been fuming about this for years, and I vocalized.
So if you've been fuming about, this is why she's whining on Twitter, because she's not making no sense. So when this lady is asking her, okay, so why are you voting for Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris obviously wants to keep the borders open. She was asked on CNN when what's his name, Anderson Cooper was like, all right, like do we have to replay it, when the guy was like pressing her, and then the borders came up. And Anderson Cooper was like, well, don't you wish you guys would have did something years ago to fix the border situation? She kept trying to skate away from that, right? And then Anderson Cooper brought it back around. He was like, so are you going to do something about the borders? And Anderson Cooper got real with her. That's the first time I was like, yo, Anderson Cooper is like, you know what I mean? He ain't playing with her. And she didn't want to like say that she was going to shore up the borders. Even when she did the interview, the doctored interview with CBS, I think that's what it was, 60 Minutes. And the guy was telling her, like, since you've been vice president and Biden's been president, the number of border crossings has quadrupled. Right? So everybody knows under the Biden-Harris administration, people are just flooding in here. If she has a problem, Lindy Lee, if you have a problem with the border crisis and you feel like, in your own words, you just said you think the border crisis is a sin, right? Why in the world are you helping Kamala Harris, like, with donors or getting money? Like, why? Like, so you're not even making any sense right now. Y'all see what I'm saying? She's making no sense.
We should not have just let
So why did you raise money
on the border when my family, like people like naturalized immigrants like myself, we follow the rules. We didn't, jump the line. We created hundreds of American jobs over the years. This is how immigration should be done. We shouldn't just offer asylum to any foreigner that wants it. I feel very, very strongly about this.
So
issue.
why were you in the campaign for Kamala Harris? Why did you? I mean, everything you're saying now was apparent to people who on the other side who agree with you back before the election. So why in the world you just proudly touted yourself as somebody on the inside of the campaign? Why would you get on the inside of the Harris campaign?
But you interrupted me earlier.
Personal.
But yes, you did, and you keep doing it.
Tell us.
All right. May I speak? All right. When I first became a Democrat, it was in the age of Obama. Okay, so there you go again. I was 2 seconds in, and you're interrupting me already. May I finish? All right, let's start again. So when I first became a Democrat, it was in the age of Obama. I was captivated by him, absolutely obsessed. And that was during my most formative age, okay? And then I ran shortly thereafter. I was running for Congress. I was 24 years old. I didn't know a different world. It wasn't conceivable for me to be a Republican. Princeton was extremely liberal. I mean, everyone knows that Philadelphia is extremely liberal. Being a Republican.
But what's that got to do with what happened in the last year when you're much older? I don't get it. What is your obsession with Barack Obama? All that time ago.
Yeah. 2000. Hey, Pierce, y'all are kind of cooking her, bruh. Y'all cooking her, but she don't have like a real legitimate reason as to why she switched over. She don't. She's trying to blame it on Princeton. She's young. She's captivated with Obama. Obama haven't been president in how many years? Mad long ago. So what does that have to do within the last year? K-Star, she's getting cooked.
2008 when Barack Obama ran.
But I'm explaining why. Well, the question is why I was a Democrat in the first place, right?
It doesn't make look. None of it really makes sense. I don't think to the left or the right. You now strongly conservative. Anyway, look, Eric, final word on this to you before we change back to the actual debate.
Yes, okay, that wasn't the question when you became a Democrat. You're allowed to change your mind. My concern, my suspicion is that you found it a much more lucrative path to become a MAGA Republican after Donald Trump won, but not a single word about DEI, about wokeism, cancel culture, none of the things that pissed off every single MAGA person for the past 4 years did you open your mouth about until after the election. That's all.
No. Google me. I am begging you to read my Wikipedia page. I am all about cancel culture and just the perils of it. That was actually one of my things, Eric.
And so you were okay with Kamala Harris's position on cancel culture, woke, DEI, pro DEI? You were okay with
not okay with it. I felt like we had no choice.
Then what? I felt like we had no choice. What?
But to support her because in the party of woke, you can't skip a black woman. That's the truth. We had a lot
hang on, just to be clear, you were so against wokeism and DEI and everything else that you felt compelled to vote for a woman who happened to be a woman of color.
I didn't vote for her.
Hey, AT! AT, I see you in the comments. He said she being exposed. Yeah, man. They cooking her.
I just told you I didn't.
Well, you voted for a Democrat.
You felt compelled to raise money for her. Why would you raise money for her? Nobody put a gun to your head, Lindy, and told you that you had to be on the inside of the campaign that you now tout being on the inside of. Nobody told you to be a fundraiser in the National Finance Chair, whatever you said. You could have not done any of it.
This is my world. You have to understand. This is my life. All my friends are Democrats. I just left all my friends behind. This is not easy. I just left this church.
Let me ask you: are you making a ton of money out of this?
Absolutely not. I haven't made a single dime. I'm a donor. I haven't made a single dime.
So when you appear on TV, you don't get a fee or anything, or
what'd you say?
When you appear on television, you don't get a fee or anything?
Do you want to pay me today, though?
No, absolutely not. But have you got a book deal?
She's getting a lot of followers.
Got a book deal about why about
she got like 380,000 followers from doing all this.
Your position.
No, I just want to be me. I'm financially independent. I'm good. I just want to be me for the
Do you
first
know
time.
what me is, though, Lindy? That's the big question.
Yes,
you really know
I'm
what
so-
me is?
I absolutely do. I'm conservative. I'm a
Because
conservative.
me went to vote for a Democrat on November the 5th, and me is now saying I've been a conservative all
Honestly,
along.
my vote for Bob Casey was out of friendship. I'm no.
Yeah, and she says she's been a conservative all along, but she's been voting Democrat.
This guy for a long, long time.
So
He's
you-
a fundamental decent guy.
So you were traduced by Barack Obama, you're obsessed with him, that's why you became a Democrat, and then you voted for Bob Casey because he's a mate. There's not much political conviction here, is there? It's basically whether
Well,
you...
no, I actually think my decision not to vote was a huge act of conviction. It was rebellion. It was because Pennsylvania is extremely crucial. My decision not to vote was significant in itself.
That's certainly not pro-Trump MAGA. That's certainly not pro-Trump MAGA.
And to this day, I am not MAGA. I'm just
Well,
conservative.
Oh, there you go. So
you're not MAGA. You're not pro-Trump. How are you gonna be anti-Trump and be conservative when the Trump administration is trying to accomplish a whole lot of stuff? She's confused. Yeah, I see you. Gino says she's confused. K-Star said, "Yapping, I heard enough."
Wait, Lindy,
She's not MAGA.
why in the
She's
world
not Democrat.
did your
It's amazing that you guys are obsessed with me. I'm very flattered.
No, nobody's obsessed with you, but you raised this issue.
We
Why
just
in the
spent
world
41 minutes
did your
obsessing over
friends
me,
tell you?
so Julie, I don't know what to tell you.
Did your friends put a gun to your head and tell you to raise money for the Democratic Party all these years? Did your friends say we're not going to be friends with you anymore?
This is just my world.
That's your world. It's the world that you made. It's a world that you made.
They did beg me to raise money. They came over. They whined
You did say
and
no.
dined me. They pressured me.
She said they whined it. Look at Pierce laughing. She said they pressured me. They forced me to they wine and dine me. She is being exposed. She falling apart, y'all. Lindy is falling apart, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Yo, she just threw the Democrats under the bus, bro. What?
This is just my world.
That's your world. It's the world that you made. It's a world that you made.
They did beg me to raise money. They came over. They whined
did say
and
no.
dined me. They pressured me. I'm telling
You
you,
know
this is my world.
I'm sorry.
I actually, frankly, enjoy
What are they trying to
doing
get in
it.
bed with you?
It's really fun. I'm good at
Can
it.
I
I
say-
raise a lot of money. I have a lot of wealthy friends. They
You
do.
raise a lot of money, Lindsay, for a party you say that you don't agree with. You're a conservative and always happy. So
Here's
why
why.
would you
I wanted to reform the party.
aggressively
You know
raise
what?
money for
Here's
a
the
very
first time I came on
left-wing
the show.
Democratic party?
Here's the first time I came on your show, I was still a Democrat, determined to reform the party. I soon realized that they're not open to reform. They don't want to change. They want to double down on identity politics. We had Jamie Harrison going out there 2 weeks after the election saying, we got to double down.
One thing, the one thing that distresses me the most about this is that you misled donors to support Vice President Harris, saying you were supporting her and then you didn't vote for her. And to me, that's the most troubling thing in this entire conversation.
Oh, no,
Now,
wait,
you
the
can
donors
choose,
don't-
you can
the
evolve.
donors don't
But
donate
you told
because of-
donors, give them, You're on the fundraising committee. You're raising money. You're going to people, give money to Vice President Harris. She's the best candidate. And comes election day, you don't have to vote for her. You should apologize to the people who donated on behalf, that listened to your plea and gave money. I'm serious. That's the only. It's not personal. That's the only part of this that troubles me.
You don't have to worry about my donors. They're my personal friends. They're proud of me for what I did. We're standing up for them. We're standing up for them, asking how their money.
How did you, out of interest, how did you persuade your donors to give the money if you didn't tell them positive things about Kamala Harris? I'm really curious.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I earnestly believed during the campaign that the Democratic Party would provide the most stable and most numerous opportunities for the American economy, because that's actually where the focus of my donors are.
How do you, bro? They literally destroyed the economy. Like, what are you talking about? Did she not see like interest rates like going like upwards of 8%? Gas prices are high. Food prices are crazy. Like, and they just keep like giving money out like to Zelensky and all of these different countries and like not asking for anything in return. Like, what is she talking about? How is this stable? Allowing like the borders to be open and like people to flood in and no voter ID states and people to just come in, infiltrate and take up our government. Like what? Like take over? Like what is she talking about?
They work on Wall Street. They're business people. They work in finance, Silicon Valley. They just want a stable and prosperous economy. That's her number one priority. And given the facts at that time, I thought that's what Kamala Harris would offer.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, just given the facts.
What changed? That she lost? What changed after November 5th? What changed? Just that she lost?
As the campaign progressed, we realized she wouldn't litigate the case at all. She spent a month hiding from the press and wouldn't do any interviews at all. She refused to distance herself from one of the most unpopular presidents in history. She just wasn't able to make the case.
Did you stand up and say that publicly?
I'm sorry?
Did you publicly stand up and say to your donors? Did you publicly go on TV and say, hey, I was wrong before November 5th?
Campaign like that. Absolutely not.
Why not? If you disagreed with her, if you think that she was wrong and you were defending MAGA, why not do what she did
actually could matter? And they just didn't listen.
Did you tell the campaign that you were a secret conservative the whole time?
They know that I'm conservative. Everyone knows I'm a conservative Democrat. I went to war with Bernie.
Who did you tell that?
This phrase conservative Democrat, I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, what is a conservative Democrat? Like, what is she talking? She like making up like terms to try to justify why she was like getting donors for the Democratic Party. Conservative Democrat, K-Star, she is not making no sense. Emma said this is diabolical. She ain't making no sense.
The conservative is also a Democrat.
Do you want to see a paper trail of me saying that I'm a conservative Democrat over the years? Do you want to see it?
I don't even know what the phrase means. I mean, do you mean a moderate?
Bobby Hester said, and this is why I drink.
A Democrat, or because a conservative is a Republican, right?
She can go to whoever wins. She can go to that side.
No.
Trump won. I'm a Democrat.
It means like we're the Democratic. It's like a Clinton Democrat, you know, someone who's very conservative on social issues.
But Clinton wasn't a conservative Democrat. He was a Democrat.
I think by today's standards, he's very much a conservative.
I just think
even Barack Obama. Remember Barack Obama? He was against gay marriage.
It sounds like, which given what you've been saying about this issue, it sounds suspiciously like you want to be politically fluid, which is a very woke thing to be doing.
Eric Bolling, you're stuck with me now.
Sub Andrew.
I'm gonna be like one of those.
I wouldn't put money on that. I'm gonna be anyway. Look, we have spent 45 minutes discussing. We've got 15 minutes.
I'm gonna let y'all finish this. I got a bunch of people over at the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my birthday's today. There's a bunch of people over. They like keep messaging me like, "Yo, we here. Where you at?" And I'm like talking to y'all, and I got people about. Hey, shout out to everybody. Y'all been fun. You know what I mean? It is what it is. My birthday today. Appreciate everybody. I want to spend some time with y'all. We got 100,000 views. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. We got a bunch of subscribers. We are above 119,000 subscribers right now. That's thanks to y'all. But I'm out. We will be back talking about more politics. Also, if I upload, you know what I mean? Appreciate y'all if y'all watch the videos, you know what I'm saying, the political videos. Appreciate y'all, but I'm not. Come ready, subscribe, and stop apologizing to her. Pierce Morgan, let her cry in the car. She could not substantiate her arguments at all. She got called out, and she's a turncoat with no real reason as to why she did it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out, y'all.